Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on something that powers pretty much every app and website you use: database relationships. This is the secret sauce, the hidden framework that connects all the dots in your digital life, and we're going to dive right in. I mean, seriously, think about it. When you log into your favorite online store, how does it magically pull up your specific order history and not your neighbor's? Well, the answer is all in these powerful, invisible links we're about to explore. So let's start with the absolute basics, the simplest and most direct connection you can have. This is kind of the foundational building block for understanding everything else, the one-to-one relationship.
Okay, so what does that actually mean? Well, the rule here is super simple. One and only one. One item in a list can only be linked to exactly one item in another list, and that connection goes both ways. The item in that second list can only point back to that one single item in the first. It's a perfect exclusive match.
A really perfect real-world example of this? A person and their passport. One person can have only one passport, right? And that specific passport can only belong to that one person. You see, it creates this exclusive, airtight pairing between those two pieces of information.
And that's really it. That's the whole idea. If you could just remember this simple phrase, you've totally got the one-to-one relationship down. It's clean, it's simple, a perfect match.
Awesome. Now let's build on that with something you're going to see way more often. We're getting into the one-to-many relationship, which is by far the most common and probably the most useful type you'll find out there in the wild.
So, just like the name says, this is where one thing can be linked to many other things. The easiest way to think about it is like a parent with multiple kids. The parent is the one side of the relationship, and all the kids are the many side.
Let's go back to that online shopping example. Think about your account on a website. You are one customer, but you can have many different orders linked to your account over time. That's a one-to-many relationship right there in action. One customer is connected to all those different orders, but each one of those orders, it belongs back to only one customer, you.
Yep, that's the phrase to remember for this one. This is the core logic that lets your favorite sites keep track of your entire shopping history under just one account. Simple, right? One customer, many orders.
All right, things are about to get a little trickier, but trust me, this is where it gets really interesting. We've arrived at the many-to-many relationship, and this one is a special kind of puzzle that needs a really clever solution.
So this happens when the connection is a free-for-all, flowing in both directions. Think about students and courses. A single student can sign up for many different courses, right? But at the same time, a single course can have many different students in it. You see, it's a many connection on both sides of the fence.
So this creates a real headache for a database. I mean, how do you directly link these two tables? If Alice is in history and math, and Bob is also in history, it just becomes this tangled, confusing web. And the truth is, you can't actually implement this relationship directly. It would be total chaos.
So, if you can't connect them directly, what on earth do you do? Well, you build a bridge. The solution is actually really elegant. You use a special kind of table that sits right in the middle of the mess.
And here it is, the hero of our story, the Junction table. You might also hear it called an associative table. Its one and only job is to connect the other two tables. It takes that one big, messy, complex problem and neatly breaks it down into two simple one-to-many relationships that we already know how to handle.
Let me show you how it works. We create an enrollment table to act as our bridge. Now, a student has a simple one-to-many relationship with the records in the enrollment table. And a course also has a one-to-many relationship to that enrollment table. Each little entry in our bridge just says, this student ID is enrolled in this course ID. And just like that, problem solved. Brilliant.
So there you have it. Those are the three fundamental ways that data gets connected behind the scenes of all your favorite apps. Let's do a super quick recap to make sure all this sticks.
Let's put it all together on one screen. First, you've got one-to-one, that perfect pairing. One person, one passport. Then we have the workhorse of the database world, one-to-many. One customer, many orders. And finally, you've got that complex web that's made simple with a bridge, the many-to-many relationship. Many students, many courses.
So the next time you're scrolling through your social feed or queuing up a playlist or booking a flight, just take a second. Look beneath the surface. Because now that you know the secret language of how data connects, you'll start seeing these hidden relationships everywhere. So can you spot them?